Watching the bishops' meeting very closely is Kevin Clarke, the chief correspondent for America Magazine. He joins us now. Kevin, today's vote approved new standards for holding bishops accountable while maximizing, as best they could, lay involvement. The bishops tried to strike a compromise. In your opinion, how did they do?
I think they did pretty well. I think it was a positive outcome. I think there was some degree of misunderstanding going back a couple of days about the new instructions from Rome that they're supposed to be following, the new mandates from Rome from Pope Francis on bishops' accountability. It seems like a handful of bishops believed that the document was limiting, the Pope's document, new instructions on bishops' accountability, was limiting what they could do with in terms of lay oversight. Others understood it as really just creating a floor, not a ceiling on that. We'll probably see that ironed out in the coming year.
But they all agreed that they should be implementing the Pope's work.
Yes, that's the the strong outcome here is that they are going to push ahead. There's going to be more accountability. There's going to be a greater lay role to a degree that we haven't seen in many of the dioceses around the country.
Another question for you. So we were talking about the Pope's new law, and he pledges that there will be an all-out war on abuse. How have the U.S. bishops measured up to that?
Well, I think the U.S. bishops really have been in the lead on that going back to 2002. They've sort of set the standard for other conferences around the world. A lot of what you're seeing coming out of Rome are policies that have been initiated here in the United States already, and they're going to go ahead much more stridently on that. I think what's been lacking has been that top level oversight. Who is watching the guys who are supposed to be watching the priests? And to our detriment, we've seen what some of the outcomes of that can be. And I believe that the U.S. Church will continue to play a vanguard role in this.
All right, great. And the bishops' next national meeting will take place in November. What do you expect then? What do they have to do?
Well, like the rest of the church, we have to pick ourselves up and try to move ahead. I think there's a great deal of pessimism. There's a great deal of fatigue, scandal fatigue out there. It's just one Episcopal position after another has been creating disappointment and despair among the people in the pews. And the bishops, I don't think they really addressed that too powerfully this time. And perhaps in November they'll have more energy to address really keeping Catholics Catholic. There's got to be more reasons for us to stay in this church right now. A lot of people are voting with their feet.
Maybe a rejuvenation then.
Yeah,
all right,
I hope
Kevin.
so.
Kevin, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.